Team responsible wives and team odobroni. Munim say me filimo because I believe in responsible wives. Whether you have certificate or not, you need to be a very supportive and a responsible wife. But case we dear, I can tell you for a fact say a bedding say the court will not declare Yamami Akosua Serwaa as the only surviving spouse of Lumba. A bedding say case we Yamami Akosua Serwaa belusi. I didn't think America sir. A ban warrior, especially ordinance marriage. Once there is legal requirement to show say Yamami Akosua Serwaa ni Lumba almost sign krata under ordinance no. And yeah, very difficult so be prove say our no does not exist. Timothy say cross examination. Yes, of course. Although brony lawyer ni ebusu opinion lawyers no, almost try almost best. Into cross examination, person almost say, oh, Lumba any Yamami Akosua Serwaa firstborn no Calvin. Say name the cry another man din say Schneider or somewhere. Yamami Akosua Serwaa di kind worry no. All those things, you know, it can still not terminate the marriage between Yamami Akosua Serwaa and Lumba based on the Ghana law. And I think although Broni was opinion lawyers no money, but almost person my case, you know, a ding and my Yamami Akosua Serwaa lawyer. To prove marriage, all you need to prove is that there was the ordinance marriage. All you need to prove is that there were both parties, you know, almost signing here. Until all Lumba, all Yamami Akosua Serwaa lawyer has to do is also prove you say Lumba is signing. Yamami Akosua Serwaa is signing. 2 witnesses from each side, from Lumba side, ebe signing. 2 witnesses from Yamami Akosua Serwaa side, ebe signing. That's the first one. And they must also prove say there is no divorce. Court bia and separatium. Until whether omo den sako, whether Yamami Akosua Serwaa jai Lumba wa Ghana, whether wa mbesheno, Lumba yari wa mbesheno, whether or throw letters up so jai no, all those things, whether omo firstborn, ekuta dim foforo, all those things, you know, does not qualify or does not, it's not enough to say there was a divorce. Some are catch them say same way this suya into the separation, unfaithfulness, and say we jai will be out to her, even if there is confusion to the extent say Marco the din separation beyond repairs, and no in itself no, and yet divorce, but you can use it as a party to file for divorce. My means is to so new kunu confusion about muntem ba kweja ba ko ho ba kwa kwatwempena awu aware nechi wo aware nechi a o partner betumi esi for bigamy, which is punishable by law, to say the Lumba any ha odobroni de no, if it's proven say Yamami Akosua Serwaa any Lumba e ware under ordinance e genuine and no mu betumi crazy odobroni any odobroni if they knew say Lumba ware no mo course ware come betumi esi Lumba, but Lumba is no more. It will be obekwa ko defend no court say omo ware no after Lumba ne Yamami Akosua Serwaa ordinance marriage no, it is bigamy. Into no, even odobroni lawyers no, any ebusuapeni lawyers no, they cannot go and say that in court. All what they can do is to punch holes in the document, the certificate that shows a Lumba and Yamami Akosua Serwaa eware. If they're able to prove that that document is fake and it's false, so because of that there was no marriage, it is after that they can claim say Lumba eware. Yes sister odobroni nti ye di suya de separation say obi eje obi ni obi ntematete dejection say obi apu obi is not enough to say there was a divorce unless omo the court na court a sign and no pe na obi tumi aka say there was divorce. In no case we Yamami Akosua Serwaa court or upper hand for court to declare her as the only surviving spouse. And my main case same way enchemo because my catch say case we nyesi ye ni hwe by the suya to build a better society. Case we the anti-crime me say Yamami Akosua Serwaa or upper hand say the judge sitting on the case respectfully cannot take decisions on her own just like that. Judge not take case in this no. On to me so arrange your pekeke respectfully. She is bound by law and to follow a particular path. Let me explain. Ghana court system no ye will move in the DHA. So it starts with district courts and now circuit courts. So courts are a your neighborhood. Then after district courts, a high court. Case we are yaking a high court. After high court, there is court of appeal. And also higher than the high court. After the court of appeal, there is supreme court. And also higher than court of appeal, high court, and district and circuit court. So if the supreme court takes a decision, and now Supreme Court, Assembly Balance Supreme Court, take a decision. The Court of Appeal, the High Court, and the District Court, they are all bound by the decisions of the Supreme Court. The same way, Court of Appeal take a decision. All the lower court and the Court of Appeal, they are bound by the decisions of the Court of Appeal. In the case we, because there is a Supreme Court decided case, one Ernestina versus Mamisha the name. So there is a decided Supreme Court case, Ernestina Boateng versus Akosua Serwaa and two others in 2001. Baako kɔ sɛ bɛrima na waka baby no ɔware me. But at the end of the day, it was proven say bɛrima no na waware dada. Even though aware no, it was from krata and any proper marriage. Court ni still a rule say aware no engina. So because there is a Supreme Court decided case, say when it comes to Ghana, marriage and aware no, ordinance marriage, it is proven by legal requirement, which is the two parties signing and their witnesses. A very say the court, the high court judge, a ruling different from Supreme Court. So yes, sir. Mami Akosua Serwaa and the lawyers, they can go to Court of Appeal to appeal the case. Court of Appeal, who's the Supreme Court, decided on the case. They will go by the ruling of the Supreme Court. So, any decision in the Court of Appeal, they can still go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will always stand by omu decision. But the law allows the Supreme Court to deviate from their decisions if there are substantive differences in fact. What am I saying? In case we obi our term rasi and obi follow the legal processes, you have an idea, baby, a case, but because the judge in a way Juma or what the authority to decide on it, to mean decide the case, otherwise to be contempt of court by the church but then American even court decide say Mami Akosua Serwaa na the only surviving spouse. It doesn't mean say chinchinachi or no pet and a be kuna e lumba yenase and ye aka say a ye ebusua no na be decided. Yes, of course, the society in Ebusua, they are bound by the rulings of the court. But in terms of sending ye no so no, untumi enchire Ebusua ne send omu ye no, nti a technical ho kakra. A technical ho kakra. Apart from the be japadia, makase yakase oya yira, mahu se document bi ni nam so oya yira oya next of kin. Oya yira onye the next of kin. Oya yira and the man no be man na waka bibi no oja wola ne wo no and no behwe so de achi ne japade when jawola 3 out of 16 ebeko the wife or the wives that the court will determine. 9 out of 16 ebeko nkwala ni hina ho inti no Calvin issue no, if it is true say Calvin the birth certificate and in the passport the father also no, even though lumba ankasa na ye ne father also ne be ma fofora and no so betimi amobi akọ challenge Calvin say only right to Lumba's property. Say ye 9 out of 16 no for nkwalani hina. That is if Lumba enjawo, which I doubt. Now 4 out of 16 so akwebusia for my cancer way, but me saying so because he did sunyade. Intino Timodo Bruni, anything responsible wife. Moon relax it, and my moon taking it too personal. The only way case we Yamami Akosua Serwaa betimi lose say and then lawyers ne no. So more punchy who say documenting a fake. And now say if they can prove say as at the time Lumba any Mami Akosua Serwaa be worry no. Akosua Serwaa did not have the capacity to say that say worry that it has say wundi 18. That is say you don't have the capacity so be our remu. And now say if the document was fault, if ya chiro obi din wom nipa no enye no sign obi sign man no. If Odobroni ni ebusuapanyin lawyers can prove that after your Mami Akosua Serwaa so to show the certificate and no and a court in the back say oh the marriage did not exist because the document is either didn't exist and a fraudulent and way. When American judge on the case in the no or limitation in terms of what she can decide. Now, mind you, case we almost decide there, be Ghana laws, and even other countries are also practicing common law can also reference this case. Into the possibility say Mami Akosua Serwaa be lose case we unless marriage certificate na ware na omo can fake. Even only original marriage certificate in Ukraine, they have every right to write to the German embassy or to the German government to verify whether there was a legitimate marriage between Lumba and Mami Akosua Serwaa. Say Germany embassy confirm say omo ware na omo divorce na sa document is coming from the right source in Germany, from the embassy near the idea, then the court will declare Mami Akosua Serwaa as the only surviving spouse of Daddy Lumba. It means say our arena Daddy Lumba. If that happens, then it means say our arena Daddy Lumba no dobro ni ware no. I null and void, and court no ebetwem. But na maka na ba na mamre ene amane a Lumba ebusuafo ne ahemfo no mo beyeye no. Betumi aka say once a Lumba ye odobro ni ho ade a, there is tradition to show no. Ya be pene amana yekuna na maka kuna no nya se de beji edin ana de be show off ya de be ya amamre separate Lumba ene oba ana ema na oni omo aware amamre kwan so. And I'll be surprised if ebusuano omo anya sa ama odobroni. I go by the name Justice the General. I try to share my little knowledge and I also try to be objective as much as possible. But minim say Ghana ma bebre omo de ombe support Mami Akosua Serwaa because bebre na ewo ordinance marriage no na bebre na se bi so a ne maame ene nante ne papa ware no ne papa jai no ne ade na mema bebre no so mema kakra na omo be support Mami Akosua Serwaa mema bebre na omo ye very mature da omo nim abrabo omo ti abrabo ase bebre na be support odobroni. They may not say it, but bebre na be support. They may not say it maybe because of ibia omo jire no munti, but bebre na be support odobroni because bema be a responsible wife or by papa bepo and be supporting, not just from the beginning like Mami Akosua Serwaa, but till the end. Said the odobroni here, Kofosi Lumba nye nso saa bema ya odobroni tumi ne tena 17 years ewo emma 6 matemase na emema kakra na ombe support Mami Akosua Serwaa no bebre na ye mema na omo ne single mothers etena ye no nti ne mema bebre na omo support Mami Akosua Serwaa no it's either so many single mothers etena ye omo nyini no their fathers were not there. What I say nti no omo they don't even understand what it takes to be a man, and they don't even know say bema wa asas u beginning ashase no o wa ho de be call beba but we no usually ya mema bebre ye mobo ye nyini a ye yare mu ni ade ti no me hu se bema bi e support Mami Akosua Serwaa minim say is either a single mother na reason no na wa cancel bebre afa ne papa ho ama nti ono no oti asen we ya ne buafu Lumba de denden na ne buafu odobroni because ne mama aka akire ne say one ne papa na bere ye na bibia ekoso na abayo abi ebeje ne papa enti na omo bere ana enti na omo papa anhwe omo no enti sa mema ne de me I don't blame them. Most of them did not have men in their lives when they were growing. They don't know what it takes to be a man. I go by the name Justice the General. My margin also share margin. I'm out.